Hey guys, it's Gretchen and welcome back to my channel. Okay, before I even get into this video, I apologize for how my background is looking. I have completely rearranged my computers and their setup in my office right now, but I don't have my new recording space set up yet, or at least my planned recording space. It's probably gonna look a little different for this video. Hopefully by the next time I film it won't. Just know that the video after this one will have the old background set up because I filmed that like a week ago. It has nothing to do with this video, but I thought I would premise that. So for today's video, I thought I would start doing something a little bit different on my channel. I had brought up on my Instagram and my Twitter saying that I wanted to do different types of content on my channel. I'm still gonna do tattoos and piercings, but I wanted to add something else. And so I'm sitting there going like, all right, you know, what else could I add? I thought something that I could really add to my channel is my love of books. If you don't know, and I mentioned it quite a few times, I have a library and information science master's degree, so I obviously really like books. However, I have been in a really bad reading slump for the past year, if not longer. And now all of a sudden I want to read again. So for today's video, I thought I would just start off nice and simple with a, you know, pretty standard TBR video, or to be read. This is gonna be my August TBR pile. It's not very big compared to other people who do book related videos, but I swear I have the attention span of a gnat. But I do have 5 books here that I do plan to read during the month of August. We shall see how that goes. There really is no rhyme or reason to these books. They just sound interesting to me and I'd like to actually read them now that I want to read again. So the first book on my list is The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. Please ignore the big old 20% off sticker from Barnes & Noble. But I have been wanting to read this book for a while. As it says on the front, it says, based on the powerful true story of love and survival. So the premise of this book revolves around the character of Lale Sokolov. I really hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I probably am not. And Lale is a Slovakian Jew who is transported to a concentration camp. Basically what happens is his captors kind of discover that he can speak multiple languages. So what he becomes is a tattooist, and he's the one that tattoos the numbers on all of the incoming Jews into the concentration camps. Through that, he meets the love of his life and claims that once they get out, he will marry her. The whole idea of it, I mean, I know it's gonna be an incredibly sad read. Currently, it has a 4.27 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, so I am very excited about it. On the little flap, it says that Lale, you know, was in prison for more than 2.5 years doing this work as a tattooist, putting the numbers. The inside of the cover, the last paragraph is pretty poignant. It says that it's a vivid, harrowing, and ultimately hopeful recreation of Lale Sokolov's experiences as the man who tattooed the arms of thousands of prisoners with what would become one of the most potent symbols of the Holocaust. The Tattooist of Auschwitz is also a testament to the endurance of love and humanity under the darkest possible conditions. I have had this on my shelf for a while. Of course, I was in a reading slump, so I didn't get around to it, but I'm glad to finally be reading this book. Next on my TBR list for August is You by Caroline Kepnes. Now, if you're unaware, You has become a television show. It says on here Lifetime series, but I think now it's been transitioned over to Netflix. I think that's where it is now. I started it, I only watched the first episode, I was intrigued by it, but I kind of want to read the book first before I watch the show. Though everyone always talks about the show and they say if you want to feel uncomfortable, that's the show for you. Great, just exactly what I'm looking for. So You is about a man named Joe who works at a bookstore. A woman walks in one day, her name is Beck, and he kind of stalks her, not just kind of, he does. He stalks her to find out all this information about her. Starting with social media, looking up her name based on the credit card she used in the bookstore that he works at. Basically becomes the perfect guy for her, but he's willing to do whatever it takes, including murder. So yay for that. True love. Wonderful. I mostly got interested in reading this book because of the character in the television show. It's the same guy, that lonely boy on Gossip Girl. Any of my Gossip Girl fans out there? So I was mostly intrigued to watch the show because of him. Then I found out it's based on a book and I was like, I kind of want to read the book first before I watch the show. Let me know in the comments below if you have watched the show or if you've read the book or if you've done both and your thoughts on it. No spoilers though, because I haven't watched it yet or read it. Like I said, there's no rhyme or reason to this list. So next up is Girl, Stop Apologizing by Rachel Hollis. When I first saw the title and I'm like, because I'm forever apologizing. This book is about casting off everyone else's thoughts and going for your own goals and your own dreams, which is something that I sometimes struggle with because I'm constantly worried about what others think of me, mostly family members, constantly wondering if they're gonna understand why I want to do something. So as the little tagline on the book says, a shame-free plan for embracing and achieving your goals. So this book is all about kind of empowering women to go after their dreams, go after their goals, stop being embarrassed for what you want to do. You know, a lot of us do something because we feel like we're supposed to. Perhaps that we're afraid or embarrassed to talk about our hopes, our dreams, our aspirations. I want to read her words. I want to see what she has to say because the title is very much me. I am forever apologizing for things that I want to do, even though I don't really need to be doing that. I shouldn't be doing that. The fourth book on my list is People Like Us by Dana Mele. The tagline says, people know us, people fear us. Going back to the whole Gossip Girl thing, that's by far one of my favorite shows ever. So anytime some kind of media comes around that's got a little bit of a smidge, kind of like Gossip Girl, I'm very interested in it. So this kind of reminded me of Gossip Girl in a way. So basically this is about a girl named Kay who has had a past. She's trying to keep the past in the past and move on. She's become a star soccer player. She's friends with people that basically run the school, kind of like those in Gossip Girl, but then all of a sudden a girl winds up dead in a lake, and this girl who has been murdered, obviously, has left Kay kind of like a scavenger hunt to figure out what happened. During the process of the scavenger hunt, Kay's life starts to unravel. She and her friends have found themselves in the crosshairs of a murder investigation. It's very Gossip Girl-esque. At least I think it sounds like it is. I haven't read it, so I don't really know. It doesn't have the best rating on Goodreads. It's like a 3.53 star out of 5-star rating, but you know what? I have it. I'd like to see if it's more like Gossip Girl. And the final book on my list is not actually my copy at all, but my boyfriend's, because he thought I would really like it, so I really gotta be careful with it. And it is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. As my boyfriend and some of the reviews on the back put it, it is basically The Hunger Games meets Game of Thrones, which you mentioned The Hunger Games and I am all in. Plus, it also has a really good rating on Goodreads with a 4.27 out of 5-star rating. So that's also very intriguing. So the premise of this book is that there are color caste systems, red being the lowest one, and that's where our main character is placed. They're the hard workers. They're the ones that are constantly trying to build for a future. So like other members of the red caste system, they're constantly working. The idea is to make it livable on Mars, and so that's what they think they're doing. But then they realize that's not exactly what they have been doing this entire time, and that Mars has already been inhabited. So once the main character, Darrow, I'll have to figure out the pronunciation of that, figures out that basically his entire caste has been betrayed, he decides to infiltrate and kind of go from the inside. By doing so, he enters into the gold caste, which is obviously the highest caste system, so he's at the bottom, he infiltrates the top. The end of the description of the book states that Darrow joins the gold caste system, and in order to destroy his enemies, he may have to become one. I mean, I got sold on the fact that it's a mixture of The Hunger Games and Game of Thrones, even though we don't talk about the ending of Game of Thrones, but I am like the biggest fan of The Hunger Games, so anything Hunger Games-esque, I am on board for. So these are my books on my TBR list for the month of August. For me, it's a pretty hefty load, 5 books in a 4-week span. Hopefully I can do it. I just basically gotta set time aside for myself to do so. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books, your thoughts on them if you did, or if you want to read any of these books. Let me know in the comments below if you yourself have your own kind of monthly TBR list that you try to follow, whether you do or not. I'm always fascinated to know what people are reading. But that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big ol' thumbs up. Go on down there and hit that subscribe button wherever it may be, because I don't know. Even though I do, this is just my shtick now. Also hit that notification bell in case you want to know when I upload, and in case YouTube wants to let you know when I upload, because I would really appreciate it. And until next time, Bye guys.